welcome to the wonderful, amazing Mindy. It's my absolute honor to have you here today. And yeah, so welcome.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, you're so welcome. Okay, so first question, what does self-care mean to you?
That's a good question. Self-care is, to me, looking after not just physically, but my whole self. So I really like to have more of a holistic approach. So mind, body, the spiritual self as well. And just having some time for me, but then also making sure to looking at kind of my whole life picture, that I'm also have that, I guess, care in my relationships with, keeping connection with close friends, and of course my family that's always near. So.
Oh, I love it. And you mentioned different areas of yourself that you're taking into account. So your sort of body, your mind, your spirit. Are you doing that on like a regular every day, or does that vary?
Well, I try to do something every day. So as a kinesiologist, I am pretty active most days. And so bringing in the self-care in terms of expanding beyond just the physical body and movement, linking posture to, which is more physical, but understanding and linking the posture to mindset. And for me, knowing how all of that connects helps me to kind of look after myself through the day. But I do like to start my days with a little journal of, some gratitude, and then just helps take a few minutes, kind of focus on my day. What do I need to accomplish today? And I find it helps me to improve my intentions for the day and be more focused as well. And part of that is physical self. And so, work, relationships, physical self, physical health, and how it all links together. So,
Ooh, I love it. So thinking about the journaling, how has your experience with journaling kind of gone from when you very first began to now?
Yeah, well, it's a work in progress for me, that's for sure. I remember as a kid, I loved to write, and I would journal a lot. And then my diary got read by a family member, which I shut it down for many, many years. So now as an adult and a parent, I know I'm relearning how important that is as an outlet to, just get to my deeper self. So I do, my intention is to do it daily. It's getting there. And there's been, over the years, I think I'm going to guess it's probably been about 8 years that I've kind of refocused on this. And I will go in periods where I'm very consistent, and then I will, life happens and other things kind of fill that spot. So, but I'm pretty comfortable in where I'm at with it now. And I would estimate that about 70% of the days that I do complete. And even if it's just a 3 minutes, sometimes I'll just set a timer and just like in the middle of the day, I need to clear my head and just write everything, whatever I need to dump out of my mind. So. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that. And yeah, it's so cathartic, isn't it? Sometimes just to empty what's in our head, just get it out.
Exactly.
Amazing. So thinking about your daily routine, so you have your journaling in there. What else do you do on a sort of a daily basis?
Yeah, so for movement, definitely. So either for myself alone, I like to go for walks, and I have a woodlot nearby, or sometimes I'll jog, and my dog loves to come along too. But definitely getting out in nature is for me really grounding and just a time to reflect and, allow whatever's going to come into my mind to be there. So that's I think the most impactful self-care for me. Mhm.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And yeah, like you said, just getting back into nature just allows us to be open and connect. It's naturally where we all came from, isn't it? So
Right.
yeah, it makes sense. So then thinking about like your favorite self-care right now, what's your most favorite self-care activity at the moment?
At the moment, I think my journal, it's kind of a journal, it's kind of a future plan, and just revisiting where am I at in the different areas of my life and how to revisit, do I need to make any edits? Am I on track with the choices that I'm making, to continue to move along in the direction that I'm intending to? So I think that, yeah.
Excellent. And so you said about being out in nature. What's your favorite place to really get like rebalanced and grounded again?
Yeah, so there's a pond close by in the woodlot where I go, near where I live, and I really like that place where there's some water plus all the nature and trees and birds and whatever else might. Occasionally I'll see deer, but so I think that's a favorite place. And then it's for me the fresh air and breathing, and I really find that I can take that breathing back with me anywhere I go, so that I can kind of recreate that emotional state of calmness. And when I need to pull other emotional resources, then I can. It's a quick, easy place in my mind I can go to bring that back. So
Yeah. Ooh, I love that. And thinking back to your very, very first memory of self-care, what's the earliest self-care memory that you could share with us?
I'm probably a bath, just being by myself in the bath and relaxing. And I remember when I was a teenager, I would like read a book in there. It was great. It's just when nobody else was around and no one else needed to get into the bath. So, yeah.
Ooh, I love it. And that's with water. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, can be really connective, I think, and really kind of relaxing and just releasing just the water.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you were to support someone who was coming at self-care for the very first time, how would you suggest they begin?
As I mentioned with the kind of the breathing, for me is a way to just kind of reset, calm. It does help us to calm our nervous system. And a lot of times where our sympathetic nervous system is on overload and causing a lot more stress and anxiety for people. So we need to activate our parasympathetic, our rest, relax system, and breathing is definitely one way that we can do that. And it's kind of your lungs are the center of you, right in your diaphragm, connecting to your core and your abdomen. So really understanding how to do different, there's lots of different breathing exercises you can do, but just full breathing and just focusing on your breath is the first or one of the easiest ways to just kind of center, get grounded, and let everything else go. And when you're focusing on your breathing, your mind is not as distracted with everything else that might be the seemingly more important problem at the moment. So it's just finding that, remembering that I have a tool that's here anytime, anywhere, and just using that to take a moment. So
Yeah, that's beautiful. And like you said before, the breathing, you can do it at any moment.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, and of course we do it all the time, unknowingly, automatically, but that's control. It also gives us that sense of control, right? Of this is something now that you're taking over for yourself. So
Yeah, I love that. I hadn't thought of it, in that way, but yeah, it does. You can just be then taking control of that moment, just literally through your breath. Yeah, thank you.
yeah.
So again, with the breath work, when did you first experience it? How did you kind of start doing the breath work?
Yeah. Well, I guess, I've obviously always been breathing, but I would say I early on in as like studying as a kinesiologist, and I've always been interested in movement and exercise as long as I can remember. Sports as a kid and just feeling good after doing something invigorating. But I started learning Pilates in, oh my goodness, probably 18 years ago now. It's been quite a while, but and so using the breath to control the core of the body is one of the basic philosophies of Pilates exercise, similar to, it's similar, it's has similarities to yoga. I'm not an expert in yoga, and I'm sure yogis may disagree with me, but for me, it's a great way to, again, connect the mind, the body, the whole spirit, because when it is all one. Our brain, our neurological system, everything has to work together, and so that's so the breath work with the core, and then in my profession with coaching other clients in movement and like rehabilitation and exercise just for fitness or for recovery or weight loss, controlling the breath really helps to focus on the outcome of your, what's the intention of why are you doing this now? And then when you can do that with your own physical body, then you can take that to other areas too of your life, right? It doesn't have to be about movement. But when you understand, I feel like when you understand that connection with movement, then you can, even without the movement, without the breathing, use movement and often where I link posture into it to kind of change your mental state and help to kind of reframe yourself in different situations. So sorry, that was a roundabout answer.
Yeah, and really interesting, to see how you sort of came about it.
Yeah.
And just for people that aren't aware, what your title means, could you explain a bit about it to us?
Sure. So kinesiology is the study of movement of the body, essentially. So I help people with movement, posture, breathing. I've done a lot of work studying coaching and NLP. So I do really am very interested in mindset and helping people with the mindset piece. And so, I've been able to help individuals with goals, groups, and also in corporations with ergonomics, so like fitting jobs to the workers and injury prevention kind of programs as well. So it's been a very interesting and diverse career for me. So yeah.
Oh, it sounds really fun.
Mhm.
And I love how you say, about as we shift our movement, we shift the emotion, because
Mhm.
it's all energy, isn't it? So
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. So breathing and movement are two sort of really easy things that we can use to shift how we're feeling, at any time.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
do you have like a short sort of movement that you use to shift your own emotions?
I would, for me, more of a just a posture check, kind of roll the shoulders back, make sure my head's aligned. If sitting is a problem for a lot of people, if when you're working on your computer for hours and hours. So even just standing and stretching or doing like a power pose with arms overhead really helps to shift the energy. Even and I mean, reaching overhead is a great exercise, just to it kind of extends the spine slightly, gets us out of that forward slumped position. There's lots of research on that. There's a wonderful TED talk on the power pose, and I can't remember the lady's name right now, but her research actually proved that it helps to shift the energy and reframe your mind. So it's definitely fascinating. So yeah, just the posture, upright posture, definitely for a movement to help. Mhm.
Oh, amazing. And so, kind of wrapping up towards the end, is there anything else that you'd like to share with the audience?
Yeah, so I have a short program that, I have a lot of different videos that I've shared with my groups. And so I put a bunch of them together into that will be accessible to your listeners. And so really explaining the connections between mindset, the body, breathing, the brain, and how, kind of brain training or movement through the brain works. I have a couple different videos on lymphatic breathing to really get the lymph flowing, which is a health. Lymph doesn't actually circulate on its own. So if we're not moving, it's not going to move. So an exercise on there, connecting the breathing to the body, to the core and the pelvic floor, which as a woman and moving up through the years, that's definitely an area that a lot of women may ignore, and it's very important. And then just a few more videos on posture overview. So combined, I didn't add it all up, but there's probably close to an hour of short, 3 to 5 minute segments. If anybody's interested really in learning more movement techniques, more breathing techniques, and understanding a little bit more about how to use your body and your breath to connect your mind and everything together. So
Ooh,
yeah,
thank you so much.
you're welcome.
Yeah, it's really generous of you. Thank you.
Oh, no worries. I think it's super important for everybody to really, take as many moments of self-care as they can, and to take as much responsibility for their own well-being as they can when they can. So
Yeah,
mm.
yeah, I love that. Yeah, thank you so, so much. Thank you for your
Thank you,
time.
Liz. It was really great to be able to connect with you, and thanks for including me in this.
Oh, absolutely my pleasure. Yeah, your wonderful expertise. So I'm really, really grateful for you for sharing them with us today.
All right. Thank you. Take care.